I've been building a small mini trailer so I can pick materials up from my tiny homes, and I just want to talk a little bit about wood. I find a lot of recycled wood. I take down garages or part of a building, or I scout around town and look for wood, but and then it sits for a year. I try and sticker most of it, but you have to be aware of rot, and this is just, I'm not a wood pro, but I just want to give you some tips that I've found out with experience. Here's my deck from all recycled wood. Everything on this trailer that I'm building is recycled, outside of the lights, of course, which I picked up and I installed yesterday. Nice little job, if I do say so myself. There's a lot of wood here that's been cut up, and you have to look for certain signs. And it may seem on the surface, let's see if this will focus on here. Hold on. There we go. You may see a little bit of like a mold growing. Now, right here, you'll notice cracking. And that is a huge sign of rot. Now, you may think that's just surface stuff. There's some more here. But start cutting through the wood. This one here is not as definite, but when you go inside, you'll notice something that is prevalent with rotting wood. There you see in the middle there's some rotten wood come out. That it'll discolor. Now, on the outside it didn't look so bad, but when I started cutting the wood, you'll notice this is all rot here. And the outside may not look so bad, as you see there, but it goes deep. This is a bit more obvious, but cut through the wood and start looking, because once you put a rotten piece in, like I did a few years ago with a deck from recycled wood, it only took about a year, a good rain through the fall, and it was toast. Let me go and I'll show you my my pile here. My place is a mess. My wife doesn't like it too much, but it's free. Okay, as you can see, I've been working through this pile here, and through the season it ends up a lot of it starts rotting, so a lot of the wood becomes suspect, and you have to really go through it. I do sticker the wood a lot of the time, but it's been here for several seasons, and you can see here this wood is gone, and this whole piece, but maybe this section here might be fine. So you go through the wood, cut them in 12-inch, 16-inch strips when you're recycling them, because you can just put them in your fireplace and use it. So when it comes to wood, here's one that's just too far gone, obviously, but I use it for firewood. Recycling materials, it's not easy. We were at a school that was putting new siding and stuff up, and I noticed that their new siding was wrapped in this kiln dried, what's it called? Douglas fir. And I got it from them, they were happy to let it go, and I got some old siding, some caps, and some things from them that I carted in my trailer. Now I'm taking it apart, which is really no fun. But as you can see over there, I've cut the panels into pieces that are usable for, once I, give it a good sand and a varnish, it should be all right. So recycle. Go to buildings where they're remodeling. Ask for their old stuff. I'm sure they'll give it to you. Okay. This is Joshua. JD, as some people call me. Keep the camera away from me. My lovely wife is videoing me today. I want to talk about removing nails. And right now we've got some packing crate with nice kiln-dried Douglas fir that I'm going to keep. And I want to talk about my favorite tools for pulling nails and pulling pallets apart. There's some pallets, old school pallets, that they use staples. They're really hard to get apart. But packing crates for siding or different things that come out, look for them. It's got some really brilliant wood and wood that you can use. Okay, these are my favorite tools. Okay, I've got my big long S-wing, and this is for pulling nails. I've got my roofing drywall hammer here, and I've got these claws. This is my favorite of all time putty knife, nail remover. I've got this insert claw, and I'll show you how to use that, and this nail puller, which comes in very handy. Now I'm just going to show you a couple of things, because if you're trying to save wood, there are ways of doing things and ways of not doing things. For instance, if you're trying to pull, let's say, this piece of wood here, and you're taking your hammer and you're digging into the reason why there's a beveled edge, okay, on this part of the claw, is because it can rest easily underneath the wood. So if this is a really good piece of wood for you and you want this, let's use this side here, and you want to come into it, go fairly level to the wood, give it a smack, and then lift. Okay, I'm going to take this piece off too. Watch yourself. Okay, it's good to like, normally I've got my what do you call it, ear plugs on, and there you have, as you can see, there hasn't been really any damage to the wood. So instead of digging into it with a claw, sometimes you've got a recessed nail, right? And there's a recess in here. What this is for is, I'm just using this as an example, it allows you to claw into the wood and to get at the nail. It'll dig in, okay, it'll dig in and grab the nail. It didn't happen there. So you can pull it out. See, it didn't happen for me. That's only if, there it is. That's only if it's hard to get at, but you've really damaged the wood, right? So what I do is, if I can, what I'll do is I'll take my claw hammer on one side, and a lot of people go, well, how can I knock this nail out? Now, I know there's a lot of experienced craftsmen out there that are laughing at me, but for the novices and people who are just starting out, you can take your claw, okay, and you lift the nail up so you've got it fairly straight, right? When you have that, what it does is it allows you, see, instead of digging it, let's say this is a nice piece of wood, instead of digging in to the wood, you now have an opportunity to see if you can knock it through. Doesn't always work. You can still straighten, like re-straighten it. This is if it's like I've had this with walnut and different kinds of wood. It's not going to work for me. Normally it does, but it's really deep in there. I always have metal sawhorses too, because it has a really good kind of, see, there's one. And if it's bent like this, what I do is I'll bend it all the way back. This is if I've got a prized piece of wood, and I'll straighten the darn thing like that, and then I'll re-bend it to get it out. And this is, you know, if I have a really nice piece of walnut and I want to save it, and there I go, I try to get it so at least the head will come out like that. And I can take my, actually, when you use the S-wing, it's a lot more torque that you need to do. I love this thing because it uses very little torque to be able to, whoops, pull the nails. I'll get that with a magnet later. So you can see, if this were a nice piece of wood, it's how you get the nails out. Okay? So find your favorite tools, and honestly, for my favorite nail pulling tools, it's these three items. They're my favorite. I use this one the most because I can come in and I can get underneath that wood without damaging the surface. The whole idea is to not damage the surface. And of course, these pieces here, which are, you can see a pile there, are going to go into our fireplace during the winter time. We'll save the nails, and we've got a scrap pile for steel, and we bring it to the steel guy and it makes us money. Recycle, man. I'll tell you, there's so many places around here. Everybody's always doing construction, or they're renovating. Go in and ask for it. I mean, I got all this tin. Somebody will say that's garbage, but for our tiny house, that'll be the corner caps for our home. Okay, that's all I gotta say. I'd like to talk a little bit about safety. I'm cutting these packing pallets, as you can see. Okay, up to me. It's all about me, Jada. Your finger's almost in front of the lens, by the way. No, the other side. Safety is important, and what I want to talk about is this chop saw. And I'm talking mostly to people who are trying to, you know, make their own tiny house or building. It's important to be safe, because I've done things in the past that are a no-no, and sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I tend to do that. Sometimes I think these are like safety glasses, but they're not safety glasses, they're just glasses. And if I'm doing a grinder, or if I'm cutting wood and the speck gets in and reflects into my eye, trust me, I've had a friend that had one splinter in his eye, and it basically ruined his eyesight for life. So these are safety glasses. This is a full protective mask. I use this especially with the grinder, but today I'm going to put these on over my glasses and look a bit geeky. And okay, here. These don't go very well. Okay, so got my safety glasses on, right? And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the cuts that I do. Put my earplugs on because they're, you know, it's funny. I'll tell you this story. When I was younger and building, for some reason, I looked into my protective gear. I like these. I don't like the earplugs so much. And I saw an earwig, and that must have been 30 years ago. And every time I put them on, because I put them down on the ground, I look into them, I blow them, because I've had, you know, dreams about earwigs going in my ear and making a home. Okay, I got my safety glasses on, got my goggles on, and my ear protective clothing. Now, there's ways of cutting and ways that one shouldn't cut, and this is what I do sometimes, and it's not good. There are nails in here. There are nails in here. Some people say take all your nails out. I don't, but I'm very, very careful, because I have a really nice blade that I've had for several years on here, and I haven't cut a nail yet. So I'm very careful. of what I do. And there's nails in the end. Sometimes an end of a piece of wood is butchered. So, you know, I look on both sides. I make sure that there's no nails. Now, if you notice this, it's a homemade lumber roller. It's got to be 20 years old, and it's great to have because I can bring it up or down to the level that I need to make the cut. If you don't have this, you end up doing stuff like this. Okay, you see you got your nails, you're reaching over, and that's not a way to be cutting wood, and that's not really very, very safe. So this is the safer way. You've got, even if it's a sawhorse or something that you can roll your wood on and make your cuts. Now this is, I'm going to make an angle cut on here. There's no nails where I'm cutting because this is going to be used for firewood. And I've looked at both sides, make a cut. This will fit in my fireplace, so throw that there. You know what's great about this packing wood? This will be awesome for strapping, because in a lot of tiny houses, what I've noticed with the 2x4 construction is they've got, you know, they put plywood on the outside. Well, if you look at trailers do not necessarily have wood on the outside. And what I want to do with this is I want to double side the exterior with vapor barrier, and I get my vapor barrier from old packing where, you know, the trucks go down the road with the wood, and they've got material over them. There, look, come outside here and you'll see down here. You notice way down there, there's a truck with the packing. Yeah, well, it's way down there. Anyway, it's got logs with that. Well, what I do is I go into Langley and I get all this this packing stuff, and I do it twice, and then I can use this wood that I've collected, and I use it for strapping along the 2x4s over the wood, and then I put my siding on. So it lightens the tiny house, and on the inside then I can worry about putting paneling and some nice stuff on, because you really don't need it. If you look at trailers like the one we're going to turn into a tiny house, it doesn't have outside wood, and it really doesn't need it. You can stabilize it from the inside if you're going to do your walls. Okay, I mean, I hope that you don't cut nails with your nice saw. Ciao, Bailey.